Heavyweight boxing fans, what's the deal? All right, man. I want to talk a little bit about. I just seen in the news, October 12th in Chicago is going down. Usyk versus Takam. This fight was on the table some months ago. We know it got taken off the table. They were saying Usyk has some type of injury. Ancestral Rage in the building was good, bro. The heavyweight division. Well, Huey Fury and Povetkin is not so much under the radar, but don't forget about that one. That's taking place at the end of the month. I think it's at the end of the year, but the end of the month, end of this month. Got Philippe Hrgovic against Mario Heredia. I know some guys may look at Heredia, look at his record, might not think much of him. Obviously, I'm picking Hrgovic to win that fight, but Heredia is a tough dude, man. He gave George Arias, another up-and-coming prospect, all he could handle. Heredia was a pretty good amateur. He fought Joseph Parker in the amateurs. Actually fought a good fight with Parker in the amateurs. So Heredia isn't just a complete pushover. And they're fighting in Mexico, man. So Heredia might come, you know what I mean? May have that fan base behind him a little bit going into that fight. Jay Jerk was good. Sheldon Holmes, what it do? Can y'all hear me good, man? I don't know if y'all can hear me good, man. Also going on, let me see. You got Povetkin, Huey Fury. You got Heredia versus Hrgovic. Stephan Shaw is taking on, I forgot that brother's name he's fighting. Langston, I forget, man. But Stephan Shaw is 11-0. He's fighting, I forgot the guy's last name, but Langston. He's the guy he's fighting is only 7-1. The guy has beat Jamal Woods. His only loss was to another, his only loss was at cruiserweight. You know what I mean? So for Stephan Shaw, this could be like one of those trick fights, man. So he should, be focused on this guy. This guy, the win that I did notice was Jamal Woods. Jamal Woods is a journeyman level fighter. He's fought some of everybody, but he's one of those journeymen that will, upset the apple cart if you don't come to fight. And he's fought pretty much some of everybody. You dig what I'm saying? Evgeny Ramonov, the guy that stopped Wilder in the amateurs, he's also doing the ring at this end of the month. There was somebody else, man, that I'm forgetting. But a few under the radar type fights though towards the end of the month, man. Trey X was good, bro. I appreciate that. Holyfield Tyson, old school fight y'all did, man. But let me just touch on this Usyk versus Takam real quick. I think this is a good fight for. I think it's a good fight for Takam because he'll deal with somebody that has experience at heavyweight. He won't be in there with a giant. He'll be in there with somebody that's more of a that'll try to put pressure on him. So it's going to be, although he's dealt with guys trying to put pressure on him at cruiserweight, a guy like Gassiev, but Gassiev to me doesn't throw as many punches as Carlos Takam. And I think Takam will, like I said, put the pressure on. He's not a big guy, doesn't have an extremely long reach, although he has some long arms for his height. Takam has like an 80-inch reach, I think. But he's not, one of those 6'7", 6'8" big guys. But I like to see how Takam, or not Takam, but how Usyk's going to deal with the pressure from Takam coming forward, bending at the waist, moving with his hands up. I want to see how Usyk deals with that. I think Usyk will pretty much, man, box circles, squares, and triangles around Takam. I think he's going to use his footwork. He's good at bending at the waist. He has pretty quick hands. So I expect Usyk to win the fight going away. I expect a decision victory. I don't think he'll stop Takam, man, but I think Takam's a tough dude to stop. You know what I mean? So I got Usyk winning this fight on points. And then after this, I want to see Usyk step up, and fight some of the taller, bigger, rangier heavyweights. Just to see how he fare against those guys. Now, I've seen him fight in the World Series of Boxing where he fought Junior Fa and Matil Madundo and all those guys in the World Series of Boxing years ago. But, this is official pro fights, though. You dig what I'm saying? Stepping up and fighting these guys now. Trey X says, I have a feeling that Usyk is going to do well at heavyweight. Me too, Trey. I did a video on Usyk in 2015, bro, before he even was going to go to heavyweight. And I pretty much knew this was coming sooner or later, him moving up to heavyweight, you know what I mean? So I can't wait to see how he does. You know what I mean? Andrew Ruiz showed us all, man, that, this isn't necessarily the only people in this era. He showed that the tall guys aren't the only guys that's going to be dominant and pick up some big victories in this era. You know what I mean? So if Ruiz can get it done, I know that Usyk can get it done. Just with his movement, man, people kind of underrate movement. A lot of people, how can Usyk, he's not going to deal with the power. Now, there's some guys, look, if I think hit Usyk on his chin, I think he's going to sleep. I think if AJ hits him on his chin hard enough, he'll probably go to sleep. However, though, we can't just make him move. Might threw Joe Joyce in there. Yeah, he beat Joe Joyce too, Trey. But a guy like Joe Joyce, a guy like Brazil, if them dudes can fight like their fight says, making these guys miss and countering them, man. You know what I mean? And he's a southpaw. We know dealing with southpaws is tough. You know what I mean? So Kingpin says anybody can whoop Joyce. I won't take it that far, but I know what you're saying, though, bro. Joyce fights like he's in slow motion. He's durable and he's strong and he has experience at the amateur level, you know what I mean? But yeah, Joyce seems like he moves in slow motion. He's a strong, durable dude, though, man. I will give him that. You know what I mean? I'm out this Santa Monica Pier, man. Some crazy people out here. Let me see. So, yeah, man, just wanted to get this out there, man. It's on Boxing Scene. I'll leave the article in the comment section. You guys can click it, read it. You know what I mean? Come to your own surmise about it. Scrapbook Boxing, what it do, bro? He said, what's good, Mr. Boxing today? Great reporting. I appreciate that, man. Mike Wilkins, what's up? He says Usyk versus Kaunowski. Ooh, that'd be a good one, man. It just depends if Kaunowski cut the ring off in time to get to Usyk. But just trying to follow Usyk around the ring and plod around with the high guard and wait till he gets off so you can get on. I can see Usyk winning that by decision, man. You know what I mean? But if Kaunowski can find a way to cut that ring off, go to that body to stop them legs. One thing about Usyk, man, if you're a guy that doesn't have an extremely long reach, and I think Takam needs to do this as well, is try to go to his body, man. Cut the ring off and go to his body to slow those legs down and try to get Usyk into a continuity of trying to, trade back and forth, get him into a slugfest. Gassiev wasn't having success. Speaking of Gassiev, he moved up to heavyweight, but Gassiev wasn't having success because he was trying to do the old high guard, wait till Usyk get off, and then try to let go. And about time Usyk got off, he was gone. You dig what I'm saying? It's like, now you see me, now you don't. It was some Houdini type shit. You dig what I'm saying? So I can see Usyk pulling the now you see me, now you don't against Kaunowski, man, but he gonna have to cut the ring off. Kingpin says he think Wilder catches the body against Kaunowski. He gets hit way too much, man, way too much. I know his manager came out and said that he think Adam can walk through Wilder's power. That's because his manager is his manager, and that's what you've seen him do, walk through everybody. Although Martin was getting to him towards the end of that fight, but for the most part, he walks through people. He was walking through Gerald Washington. And look, I know Wilder's the man with the right hand, but Gerald Washington can crack, man. That dude knocked out Robert Helenius. When he chooses to sit down, you dig what I'm saying? I see him knock out Jerry Forrest. Forrest is another guy that's not just easy to knock out, man. Who else did I see Gerald knock out viciously? Skip Scott was another guy I seen him. And Skip Scott's a big motherfucker, man. So Gerald can crack, man, especially when he sits down. And Adam just walked right through it, bro. Like, it was like, he just walked right through it. Neutral Natural was good, man. So yeah, so what y'all think about Takam and I'm looking through the comments right now. What y'all think about Takam and Usyk, man? I got Usyk winning by decision. Like I said, man, not to keep harping on it because I'm gonna get off soon here, but I just see Usyk using his legs, throwing in combinations. My thing with Usyk is if it gets a little rough for him, will he implement tying up? How does he, how can he deal with guys that are going to be a little bit physical with him? Because you're not going to be able to get away from everybody, man. Sometimes you're going to have to stand and fight. Ali has some of the best legs I've ever seen in heavyweight. Larry Holmes as well when they were young. And sometimes, as you guys know, I like to call guys like Holmes and Ali. Some people like to use the term boxer punchers. I like to use the term boxer fighters. Not necessarily hard punchers, but when they had to stand their ground and them moving around wasn't working, they had to stand their ground and say, look, man, I'm going to have to sit here and fight you off. I want to see will Usyk implement that, stand and fighting guys off of him. Even if his power isn't, people don't perceive it as to be huge at heavyweight, which we don't know yet. We will see against Takam in his further fights. But will he try to stand and fight? Will he just continue to use his legs until the end, until the end? Or will he implement holding and grabbing and knowing how to tie up on the inside with guys like Takam? And he's going to be taller than Takam, you know what I mean? As far as height. But Takam can probably, come out that high guard, move his head, use his long arms, because if I'm not mistaken, somebody correct me if I'm wrong while we on here, I believe Takam does have like an 80-inch reach. I think he's one of those shorter guys with a long reach. I think he's trying to jab his way inside and get low. You know what I mean? He's already a shorter guy, so he can get shorter. You know what I mean? I heard Mike Tyson say that, hey, I'm already the shorter guy, so I'm going to get even shorter up in here. You know what I mean? So we'll see if Takam takes that effect. Usually Takam's the small guy in there. You know what I mean? He's fighting the Tony Tysons and the Anthony Joshuas, and you know what I mean? So he's usually, in a lot of his fights, the shorter guy. You know what I mean? With the shorter reach, too. So this is going to be a fight where we'll have the longer reach. And Usyk's the one's perceived as the small guy, right? But I think Usyk, shit, man, he comes in them cruiserweight. I think Usyk's a good 220. I think he's a solid 220, man. So, you know, if they get in there, man, I want to see the physicality of Usyk. I don't, you know, for some reason, I don't think Usyk is just the outboxer guy. I think he has good legs, and he's a good counter puncher. He has good combinations, and he punches in weird angles, you know what I mean? But I want to see what his physicality is like at heavyweight. Neutral Natural says, I would rather see Usyk versus Chisora. The zone need to get the fuck out of here with that BS in Chicago. Usyk fighting the dude with the long layoff and the suspect chin. You think it's chin suspect, bro? I don't know. I seen Takam get knocked out against Povetkin, but that Povetkin and that Povetkin Takam fight, one of the better, in my opinion, one of the better heavyweight fights in the last 10 years, in my opinion. I don't think Takam has a suspect chin, bro. And I think that stoppage against AJ was BS, in my opinion. You know what I mean? But I don't know. I don't think Takam got a suspect chin, bro. That's my opinion, though. Long layoff. Yeah, he's been out. One thing about Takam that I can say is the dude who stays in the gym. I will give him that. You can't have that type of physique and not stay in the gym. Plus, I watch him on Instagram. You know what I mean? So I see him on social media working his ass off. But I'm not going to be tricked by that whole social media thing, because I thought Lucas Brown was going to be in shape for Dillian White, because he was always on social media. But see, he was giving me shots like this. You know what I mean? Like neck up shots. You know what I mean? But I don't know, man. I think Takam's going to be in good shape. I think Usyk just going to outbox him. It was all a dream. I used to read Word Up magazine. What's good, man? Neutral Natural says, who wins, Brazil versus Jamil McCline? I'm going to go with Jamil McCline in that one. I think he has better stamina. I think he's the harder puncher. I'm going to go with Jamil McCline in that one. Good, Ms. Barker. Do you know much about Cassius Chaney? Is he a future prospect? It's funny to bring Cassius. Cassius, if you watch it, man, what's up, bro? Cassius actually texted me the other day. We were going back and forth, man. For what he told me in that text message, he's just waiting his turn right now, man. And I think, you know, I think Cassius is going to get his call up. They'll call him up and try to bring him in as an opponent with a decent record against somebody like a Gerald Washington, Charles Martin, maybe Adam Konaski, somebody like that. I think they're going to call him up because of his record. He's undefeated, about 16-0, 17-0, something like that. I think he'll get called up as an opponent. You dig what I'm saying? And it's up to him to take it from there. Even though they're going to bring him in as the opponent, it's up to him to make, you know, put everybody on notice. So it's funny you bring up Cassius. And Cassius, they did a good piece on him on a boxing scene. You know what I mean? So go check that out. That was up like last week, a few days ago or something like that. Funny you bring up Cassius, though, man. He actually just beat Joel Cotto. Knocked him out in the first round, you know. So with Cassius, man, just about him getting his opportunity and see what we can do. Or see what he can do, you know what I mean? Trey X says Jamil McCline dropped Michael Brandon, broke his ankle. Hey, and Jamil McCline was roughing up Sam Peter. Y'all remember that Sam Peter fight? That was a good fight, man. And I thought they could have gave McCline the decision against Chris Bird. Hey, Chris Bird had a rocky... Chris Bird was the IBF title holder for about 4 years. He has some rocky title defenses, man. I thought Galata could have got over on him. McCline. There was another fight where I thought Bird could have lost when he had that strap, man. But shouts out to Chris Bird, though. Very gifted technical fighter, man. Chris Bird was one of the best technical guys I've seen. Jay Jerk said, what's up with George Arias? I don't know, man. I don't know what's up with George, man. It's like he's active and he's not active, so I'm not sure with George, man. Kingpin says Hrgovic is he Russian? Not Croatian. Tarmalas. They're both undefeated. But Tarmalas he's undefeated. He beat Kevin Johnson. Who was there Tarmalas beat? I know he beat Kevin Johnson and somebody else. I forget. But I want to see Tarmalas and Hrgovic get it on, man. All right, y'all. Just want to get that news out there, man, about Usyk fight Takam. Stephan Shaw, undefeated heavyweight prospect, be in action towards the end of the month. Don't forget about Huey, Fury, and Povetkin. And you got Hrgovic and George Arias that's going to be fighting towards the end of the month. That's going to be an interesting fight. I'm picking Hrgovic to beat, not George Arias, but...
you know who they are?
Mario Heredia, my bad, y'all. My kids kind of distracted, but Mario Heredia actually fought George Arias. They had a good slugfest. Y'all go check that one out, man. Appreciate y'all stopping by, man. I'm gone.